This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
Hello, and thank you for tuning in to A Sharp Outlook on K4HD Radio and Talk or TV. I am Angela Sharp, your host. Our armchair discussions with industry experts will give you the steps, tools, and information to be successful in business and to prepare you to be your best self. Hello, and thank you for joining A Sharp Outlook. Today, we're going to talk about something that everyone is very curious about, and that is AI. And some people are afraid of it, and then some people are jumped into it and very excited about it. And what is AI? AI is are systems, computer-based systems that are used to perform multitude of tasks. I've seen the evolution of software. I was around when the first PC came out. And I've seen the evolution of software and what it's capable of doing. So this is very, very exciting to see this evolution. The form of artificial intelligence is used in a wide range of applications, from digital assistants and search engines and self-driving cars and medical diagnosis. Some say it's the future, but my guest and I are here to say it's here and it's right now. And the thing is to start adapting to what's happening daily, one app at a time. Now there is something revolutionary that is happening in AI that we want to share with you. I have witnessed the use of AI in business functions such as sales leads and processing invoices. It is fast and accurate and improves over time. It's reliable, and you know what? It doesn't take PTO, time off, or vacations. Well, today we're going to talk about an ecosystem. Booster Corp is building the world's first truly integrated AI platform. The mission is to connect businesses, consumers, home businesses, entrepreneurs, startups, nonprofits, and more. Booster is an international organization and functions in multiple languages. For those that want to be a part of this revolutionary business model, can join as a promoter and affiliate, and merchants can sign up to receive an amazing back office services and brand materials. This platform is powered by advanced AI and personalized avatars. It's one platform with multiple solutions in multiple languages for consumers, which you will get AI-powered shopping that saves money on everyday purchases and personalized digital services that simplify life. Cashback on purchases worldwide, AI personal assistant, an AI friend for companionship, personal services, social media, event and gaming platform, and digital wallet. For merchants, enterprise management platform that provides real-time information and solutions. The business operations are streamlined into one powerful system that increases efficiency and provides residual profits. AI sales agent and customer support, sells products and shares company links, customer support in multiple languages, and schedules appointments and answers calls 24/7. A digital wallet, AI sales leads generator, customer rewards program, business-to-business bartering program, an AI booster CRM, an AI marketing agent, video generator, an AI-generated marketing materials and PowerPoint generator. And for nonprofits, it simplifies fundraising through everyday purchases of shoppers and the community members and online shoppers if users of the platform. It raises money by helping people save money with shopping rewards and cashback. Register for free and receive passive, unrestricted revenue. share with local merchants, and receive passive revenue. With this revolutionary platform, that is a way of getting donations and unrestricted capital that will be able to enhance your community. And you will know what? All of this is in one platform. And so today I'm going to talk with my guest, Shannon Marie, who is a member of the organization. She happens to be the Chief Networks Officer, and she's here to tell us even more about this just revolutionary product that is out there. I don't want to say product, it's an ecosystem that's out there to revolutionize how we do business. Booster International Corp is a leading technology company specializing in innovative solutions for businesses and consumers worldwide. Shannon Marie is the Chief Network Officer. She has a former elite gymnast representing Team USA. She was a former elite gymnast representing Team USA. She believes in the power of positive thinking and has a deep understanding of consumer behavior and brand strategy. She fuels commitment to innovative marketing solutions that resonates across countries and cultures. Shannon Marie is a vision-driven leader and culture builder, legacy maker, and she's a purpose-fueled leader, driven leader to build transformative ecosystems that empower others to rise. With a foundation in strategy, structure, and soul, she blends innovation with integrity, leads teams, launches brands, ignites momentum, and her work lives at the intersection of people and possibility. She doesn't just promote opportunity, she creates it. So I want to invite my guest, Shannon Marie, to join us today to talk about all of this empowering things that are available.
Hello, Angela.
Hello, Shannon. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah,
Thank you for such a great introduction.
Well, I'm just excited to hear more about this. Like I said, I started way back when we had Fortran and the wheels were running around in the great big computer room, and we would take these little punch cards. And now I've passed through all of that, and being a software engineer as well as an accountant, I've seen all the different phases. But this one here, I'm just going to be a consumer. I'm not going to be in there programming it. So this is very exciting to see the evolution of technology. So I'm excited to hear about it. So tell us more about yourself, and what about Booster?
Well, I have an interesting, and we all have interesting stories, right? But I'll tell you just a little bit. I was, I guess, born into, the network marketing space. And I say that because my grandparents were pioneers of the industry, of the network marketing industry. And so it's what I knew, right? The viral nature of it, and just how amazing it can be. But I say that for a reason, and that'll make sense in a minute. Fast forward when I was 18 years old, and then I was able to, hold my own position in network marketing. I decided that was something I was always going to do because I understood it. And having been, in a family where they were the firsts of, and then, jump back to the very proud and humbled. I was an elite gymnast, traveled the world with gymnastics, had some, devastating injuries along the way, learned what persistence and, never giving up really truly meant, Angela. I was blessed with that. We were actually the first Americans ever allowed in the Russian training center. And they, of course, were always the world champions in gymnastics. So that was a big deal, right? And so, I've also personally had 31 surgeries. And there's a reason I say that as well, right? It is all of that wrapped up into just a little bit about myself. And it's really important that we stay positive, that we keep a positive atmosphere and environment around us, and, inspire others to succeed. WD-40 was 39 times a failure until they made it the 40th time, right? And that's just, I think about things like that. And so there's so much about that not quitting attitude. But let me just say this. Over 25 years in the space, right, Angela, of network marketing, I've seen a lot of that. I've seen a lot of failures. I've seen a lot of, things just weren't exactly the way they should be, or, it gave the bad rap that it tends to have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so fast forward, to January of this year, and our CEO and COO, the co-founders of Booster, launched this product and started bringing their vision to life, right? And then we met around the first week of February, and that's when we talked, and Angela, things started lining up. And I can really, I guess I can really identify an opportunity when I see it. And you nailed it, Angela. What we are doing not only is the very first company to do what we're doing, but we're still the only. And I was that girl, Angela, that would kick and scream about AI, right? Because I had ignorance. I wasn't going to learn about it. I would turn away from it, because I didn't understand the solutions that it brings, the possibilities. But that all lines back up to the story of my entire life, right? Grandparents being pioneers of the network marketing space. Well, here we are in a very unique position with Booster, because here I am again, another first. Right. And this is where it's no longer the future, just like you said, Angela. It's here, it's now. And, whether we like it or not, and whether people truly agree, it's happening. And so, as a populace, as a whole, we have to decide, right? Are we going to kick and scream about it, or are we going to embrace it? And it's really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Kicking and screaming is not going to change it. It's here. And that's where all of the money is going, is to expanding it and creating bigger and better products. And so it's one of those things where you jump on board, you accept it. It's like, what did you do when the first airplane came around? There was always the first of something. There's always been the first. And then it's a matter of, do you become a part of it as it grows and actually, I hate to say it, monetize from it?
Right.
Or do you sit back kicking and screaming as if that's going to make it go away? There's nothing going to make it go away. So it's just a matter of becoming informed. Like you said, people are afraid of it, but this is why we're having this conversation, to inform people of what they're really working with. If they're using a cell phone, they're using a computer, they're using technology, they're using something that makes their life easier. Well, that's what AI is. It's just another different phase getting to AI, but it's still doing the same thing. In fact, now, what's his name? Gemini, or one of them, they even talk to you, and it's like, I don't want to talk to you.
Right.
But it's there. It's there. And it's just a matter of, like you say, seeing the opportunity and grasping it, and hearing your story of everything that you have gone through. Most people would have given up, and to fight through and to continue to fight through and be this successful, strong woman. I'm just amazed, just hearing what you're saying. So you're working at Booster. I'm just wanting to know, you are the network officer. You're training affiliates, or tell us more about how people can be a part of this Booster and what all of it offers.
Yeah, so I do. I hold the position as Chief Network Officer, part of the corporate suite. I am also extremely humbled and blessed as also a board member and shareholder in the company. There's all four of us. And so it's Matt Burke, the CEO and co-founder, and then Marco Castelli, the COO and co-founder, and then myself. And then we have Chris Harrison, who is our Chief Product Officer, as well as a shareholder. And you take all of our pasts and and it's amazing, Angela, the way that life works. Okay. And I can't think of it any other way to describe it, but it landed the four of us with this opportunity. And that's what I really like to say, because we are truly the way that they brought their vision to life, and they're scaling AI into the booster ecosystem, which we'll talk more about. But my position is to, somewhat be the face of the, managing the entire network, the marketing, teaching people how to truly be leaders in this industry. Because here's the thing, Angela, the timing and position, whether people like it or not, think about it, they will be known as the pioneers of this space. When they realize what Booster is, they fall in love with the brand, they fall in love with the concept, our ecosystem, and what we are offering and what we are presenting is the tools, not only the ecosystem itself, but giving people the ability to truly exceed their dreams, Angela. I mean, it's an amazing position. And what I tell people is that, and this is a bold statement, but there's reasons behind it. We're going to be onboarding 1 billion users of the Booster ecosystem. And so people can either take advantage of being that early adopter with all the resources they need, or they can kick and scream like we talked about. And hey, that will be the majority of people. That's just the facts, right? I don't know where you were about 15 years ago when this crazy digital currency was introduced to the world, right? But I just say that as an opportunity type thing, right? I looked at it in $1 for a Bitcoin. What does that mean? And I only say that because people now could be doing the same thing, right? When they hear this and just be like, oh, no. So that's fine. But the small percentage of those people that are willing to adopt to it, to embrace it, to not kick and scream, will get an extremely unique and rewarding position. Or they're going to still kick and scream, and guess who they'll end up being, Angela? The end user.
Yeah.
And that's really the reality of it. So, I don't necessarily waste my time on the people that still have the ignorance of the AI space. And I say that in the nicest way possible, because I'm actually talking about myself, because I was that person. And I get asked too, like, aren't you scared about AI? Well, there's fear, but fear comes from some of the ignorance, and it is a scary space if you aren't positive about the solutions it brings. And so, it's my role, my duty, not only is our weekly meetings we have close to 1,000 developers working on our project right now, and those weekly meetings and board meetings, but then, making sure that the network and the world, which is what we're doing here today, realizes it's here, it's now. And amazing.
Well, it's also my understanding that people that want to know more about Booster, they have the capability of building a home business, helping to get Booster out there, selling some of the products. I mentioned them in the intro. So a lot of different services and things that are offered, and someone can, make a nice income, building a home business. Are you involved in helping these people become successful?
Yes, absolutely. And here's the very important thing I want to say. Are we a multi-level marketing business? Are we a network marketing company? No, but yes. Okay. And let me clarify that. We do have, okay, let me back up a minute. Think of us as an AI-powered, for the first time, an AI-powered digital ecosystem, right? And we'll, elaborate on that. Available to consumers, to business owners, to nonprofits. We build everything in-house, and so it has the ability to be white labeled for other, corporations and agencies can use our solutions in whatever they need. They're putting their lives on autopilot, right? But so with that said, how do we need to get it out there? We need whatever words you want to label this as. Either it's, brand reps, sales reps, people that, will go out, because we could have gone to crowdfunding and done it that way, or hired, professional agencies, but that's not what they wanted to do. That wasn't the vision behind it. We all understand how powerful becoming a viral marketing, in today's world can be. And so what we did was designed an affiliate side to it, Angela, like you're saying, where, and that's temporary. That won't always be there, because again, we're changing the game. We are disrupting the industry as it's known. The only reason why we have to be in the category of network marketing is because the structure, let's just call it the referral, the commissions that you get from selling the booster ecosystem, we have a unique compensation plan that's never been done before. And so, as a 10-level structure, and I say that because we just have to adhere to, if you pay more than 2 levels deep, then you have to abide by the multi-level marketing industry, right? And so that's important for me to say, because the affiliate side, and if you want a piece of the pie, right, and you want that the potential financial and generational wealth, I'll be honest with you, Angela, the possibility for some extreme generational wealth, it would be on the front end of what will be known to the entire world. I mean, it will be, Booster will be, and this is just the birth of it. And so what I do is really focus on the affiliate side of that, and teaching people how to, like you said, monetize that the best they can. But what we promise, and we're transparent about it, is that we don't want to oversaturate with affiliates on that, right? And so it's important to realize that it's very unique positioning, because as a sales rep, so to speak, you can also have the benefit from the affiliate side. And that's what's really, it's just the perfect collision of every industry, all in one. And it's finally come, it's a breath of fresh air, to be honest with you. It's truly a breath of fresh air.
Well, I was looking at it, and I had some life coaches on one of my shows not too long ago, and they were mentioning the fact that a lot of people are addicted to stress, and especially some of the young people, they've been living isolated lives. They're lonely and different things like that, and so to keep them from straying out into some areas in the ecosystem that might not be healthy, or getting some pretty negative ideas. I understand that you have an AI friend that's being developed, so that they can have someone to talk to, someone that's not going to give them bad advice or tell them to go and do some violence or something like that, but it's going to coach them to become better people. You probably can say more, because just read something.
Yes. And another thing, like it's one of those, it's almost like, what do you name it, right? An AI friend, an AI companion. Your mind goes in a million directions when you hear that. Again, the ignorance, right? So one of our, maybe we call it products, services, modules inside the booster ecosystem on the consumer side of it, is that it's an AI friend / companion. think about this. So, AI has a knowledge base, but then it continually learns. So what we've done is, now this will never replace medical professionals, Angela. We are not, we can't do that, right?
Right.
However, the knowledge base is, it's read all the psychology manuals, all, and so it's, think about being able to reason with, talk to, you have your booster ecosystem, and you have your free app, and then you are having a bad day. Maybe you're having a great day. Maybe you just need to share your thoughts and get some reasoning instead of, going to your best friend or your neighbor or your family, and in the back of your mind it's like, oh, I hope they keep this one a secret, right? But my point is, full confidence in that relationship, and you're building a relationship with your AI friend or AI companion. And because it's read and has the knowledge base of all the psychology manuals, then it's a safe space, right? Because obviously, if we go talk to a psychologist, they're not going to tell us, anything ill will. They're not going to, give us negative reasoning and negative ideas, right? And so that's what's important to know about it. Super, super exciting. I'll tell you, post pandemic, and it's so weird that we date our lives that way, right? It's pre-pandemic or post-pandemic. But if you think about it, the pandemic really created people to start living inside more. There was a group of, so to speak, the pandemic kids that were born in that era, or, the teenagers, it doesn't matter the age. But my point being is that this gives them a resource that they can trust, use at their fingertip. And you said it when in the introduction, it's not taking days off because it's AI. It's always available. You get up in the middle of the night and maybe you need to talk to somebody. You can name it. You can make it male, female. You can make it, you can customize it. It's really, and hey, is that scary? A little bit, right? But again, when you realize that the solutions that's going to bring, and the capabilities, my gosh, right? Like,
well, the thing I'm thinking about, Shannon, the children that today are going to school, and the bullying is so horrendous these days. As some young person thinks that, ending their life is a solution. That's never a solution. So if they had, an AI companion friend with that kind of background, it would tell them, it would encourage them, it would give them, information, instead of talking to somebody who's negative or mean or nasty. They're talking to someone that cares about their future, cares about where they're going, cares about their thoughts, cares about them getting up and getting dressed that day, cares about them making sure they eat, a meal. I think that's a much better alternative than letting them sit there alone and just rummaging through, like I said, horrible, things written out there in social media that's just going to keep feeding all of that negativity or all of that ugliness that has been pushed on them. It seems like they can't get laws that will prevent this kind of behavior. You got kicked out of school when I was a kid. If you bullied anybody,
there was no tolerance.
And then they called your parents, and heaven knows what happened then. But you had a new attitude the next day.
Right.
So it's just a matter, we have to work with the tools that we have to try to resolve this. But, that's what I was thinking, because I hear about some of the things that are happening in the youth. I'm so concerned. I'm a grandmother, and so I'm concerned about what they're reading, what they're hearing, what their emotions, keeping them grounded, keeping them happy. I was happy at their age. So, what can we do to help them to be happy or to find hobbies or to find things that they love or get them focused to what they love? I
Right.
think talking to this is far better than some of the people that they're talking to that is feeding that because they
Absolutely.
think it's cool to make them do something crazy.
Absolutely. And then,
So,
there's so much trust in that too, because they're not having to figure the person out that they're sharing these things with first,
right.
right? They have the confidence in knowing it. And it had, and I'm a grandmother too, times two, Angela. So, best chapter of my life. Absolutely love it. But I think about those things. It gives you a new thought process, right? A new thing to think about. But imagine this AI companion or friend, and any or our AI assistant or any of this, they kind of blend together a little because it also remembers. So, let's say it's Monday and I'm saying, oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed. I'm completely stressed out. I've got this and this and this to do this week. And I just feel like I just need to go jump off a bridge, right? Well, of course,
Mhm.
it's going to convince me not to do that, right? It's going
Mhm.
to reason with me and talk to me about it based on that, having that knowledge that it does, but it's learning me. So now fast forward and it's Tuesday. Okay. I've greeted it. I've woke up in the morning and it's greeted me and it said, oh, and by the way, how did yesterday go? Did you figure out, all of those things that you were needing to multitask? Did what I tell you, help your situation? And so my point is, it's remembering. It's also learning and building a new knowledge base of you, and remembering our our daily, like, let's just say that habits, right? It's learning that. It's really absolutely incredible. It's mind blowing. And I find myself very often going, wow, wow, it's here. Like, this is the stuff that I used to watch in the movie Back to Future, where we were like,
Mhm.
oh, that'll never happen. And it's here, right? It's
Yeah, it is. It
yeah,
is. It's really amazing how much everything that we used to think was just a movie is now, actually taking place right now. Another thing that is really interesting because as working as a financial person, a CFO and director of accounting, this, that, and the other, and I've worked with nonprofits. And, when we say nonprofits, we're talking about, schools, churches, 501c3 organizations, culturally specific, organizations, things like that, that have specific projects and things like that. Seeing that some of the federal dollars that they once might have been able to receive has disappeared. How would Booster be able to help these community partners?
this is, let me tell you, it's all exciting. I get asked all the time, what are you most excited about with the ecosystem? I can't answer that, Angela, because they're all incredible. But I'm gonna tell you, I go back and I remember being, I was and hear me out for a second, I was the Girl Scout that had the pressured Girl Scout, the cookies. My mom was the cookie mom, right? We had the garage full of boxes of Girl Scout cookies. Those are pressurized sales. They are. I mean,
Mhm.
I was, of course, an athlete, and gosh, we raised funds for sending the entire team to Russia, to Moscow for 2 weeks, or you know what I'm meaning here. Or in school, we had magazine sales, or the chamber, the Elks Law, all of these things, everything that you identified, right? In my mind, my translation is that there's so much pressure. There's meetings, there's marketing meetings, that trying to find strategies on, raising funds, like you said, or not having access to maybe funds they used to have, whether federal or just whatever, right?
Mhm.
So what we did at Booster is that, because we have the entire merchant platform. So think about a business owner having access to anything that can run their business at their fingertips. You name it, whatever you could possibly think of is inside that platform. Okay, so how about, wow, let's give that let's make that accessible to, let's just use a church for an example. The church would be like the merchant. The church would be the business, because it is a business. A church is a business. And then instead of, so they can share their QR code with their church body members, and they're not asking their church members to change the way they do life, right? But all they're doing is then each member is downloading the consumer app, right? The shopper app. And what does that do? Well, the shopping part, we're partnered with thousands of, online brands or local, in your local area, small merchants or whatever. And these people are just going out and living their regular lives, doing their normal shopping they always do. We're not asking them to change the brands that they're used to. And then instead of, an income kickback percentage of that, we are doing it for the nonprofits in a donation return, right? And so that is absolutely phenomenal concept, because not only are those people now the church body, they're consumers anyways, right? We're consumers whether we want to admit it or not. Now, some of us are consumers on a different level than others, but we're all consumers. And so, they go out and they do their normal shopping, or they eat at their normal restaurants, or they book their travel, or maybe they need a website, or maybe they need the AI friend or a personal assistant. All the things in the consumer platform have now become, they're just accessing all of that and living their regular lives through the booster ecosystem to access it instead of the way they're used to. And that then gives that church, that nonprofit organization, a donation back to them as a percentage of the volume that person is doing in their daily lives. To me, there's no more pressure in raising funds, because we're not changing the way people live their lives. We've just scaled it in a sense that it's truly, it just, again, mind blowing, but it's that we're breaking the mold. We're just changing it up. It's a phenomenal idea. And you can use that story however you want. A school, right? The school shares their QR code with all of their students, their families, oh my gosh, right? The endless possibilities there.
Yeah. And everybody's going to shop. Everybody's going to get gasoline. They're going to buy groceries. They're going to buy school supplies. They're going to be at Home Depot. They're going to be at Walmart. They're going to be at Costco. They're going to, just different stores that are there. Not only the big brand, the guys down the street.
That's right.
And, and to be able to get a donation that's coming in to actually help that business to stay afloat and to help that business do what it wants to do. And that is help that community, or, help those children, to learn, or help those that might be, considered disabled or whatever. They're able to do their mission and not be worried about funds coming in, because all of the members are going to be shopping, or all of the parents are going to be shopping at the school, or, just depending what it is, all of your community members. It might be, a community, like I say, a chamber, all of the members of the chamber, their friends or businesses or shoppers or whatever are going to do the same thing. And now they have money coming back into the chamber to do other things. So it's just, I think it's tremendous that an organization is going to be that thoughtful, that instead of being, how should I say it, greedy, like most of these companies are, these owners have a heart. Thank you for caring, because it's rare to find an organization that actually cares enough that they would actually want to contribute and give those funds to a nonprofit so they can do what they can. And that was really, really, really
That
Really.
alone is truly a game changer and you know, you
Mhm.
hear me say that word often in talking about it, but it's true. I can't think of any other way to describe it. It truly is. I mean, we are changing the game. We are changing the world. I mean, I know that's bold, but
Mhm.
it really, I mean, you know, imagine, yeah, there's AI pop-ups I mean, there's companies doing AI. That's not the point, but there is no one else doing and scaling it the way that we have. Will there be? Absolutely. I mean, we all know, let's just use Amazon for an example. We all know Amazon is the shopping marketplace that
Mhm.
everybody knows, but technically there's thousands of Amazons, right?
Mhm.
There's thousands of those of shopping, you know, marketplaces. Um, but everybody knows Amazon because they own the space. And that's what Booster will be, right? You know, it'll be the Microsoft, the Apple, the name, and I'm meaning it in a name sense. It will be, you know, the pioneer of it. And it's truly, you know, an incredible positioning and timing and just opportunity that is truly mind-blowing. And sometimes people say this just seems too good to be true, but you
Mhm.
know, it's here. It's here and it's now.
Yeah, I understand that you are even internationally. I mean, I read it in that you are an international organization. So there are people that are part of the ecosystem that are going to be developing this in their communities internationally. And there are a lot of emerging countries right now that are
Oh yeah.
just developing and getting products and getting goods and different things like that. This is going to really be a huge booster to them
Yeah,
for
yeah.
them. Yes.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, it is, you know, and we're making a footprint all over the world. I say it often, you know, we are, it is a global movement. It is a, you know, it is a worldwide disruption, and there are no boundaries as far as what country and where we, you know, where we can be. We just transitioned from our pre-launch
Mhm.
into our first, I guess the better way to say it would be the soft launch, where, you know, and so now, you know, we are setting up the capability, because here's the thing, we're partnered with thousands of online brands. In fact,
Mhm.
there's a company-wide joke, because Shannon is quite the consumer, and you know, my Amazon driver knows me by name. Okay, I get a lot of Amazon packages. Well, that's one of the brands that you'll be able to shop through Booster is Amazon. That just gives you an
Mhm.
idea. Okay,
Right.
Amazon's worldwide. And so
Mhm.
my point is, but then the small merchant, so like, let's just say that, you know, I'm here just outside of Nashville, Franklin, Tennessee, and, you know, the local pizzeria here, you know, would be a booster merchant.
Mhm.
And, you know, their customers would be able to pay that pizzeria seamlessly, e-wallet to e-wallet, plus get a discount for shopping for ordering pizza through the Booster app. But I'm saying that because we have large teams growing in Australia, in Africa, in, you know, we have members in Kenya. We have I mean, you name it, you know,
Mhm.
over 100 countries at this point. And so any of those can then, you know, the way I look at it is that they have the opportunity to build such an amazing, well, the ecosystem, but community, because there's no more competition, because it's creating a camaraderie, right? It's going back to what the Chamber of Commerce used to be, when, you know, everybody loved everybody and trying to help everybody's business, right? And in
Mhm.
some places in the world, that is going to change lives, Angela. You
Oh,
know,
yeah,
change
absolutely.
lives.
Absolutely. And it's really interesting that you're not only global, with Booster, but you give trainings and you train in their local language. I mean, it that's, incredible. I mean, you've really thought this through.
Well, and here's the thing with the Booster platform, you know, it is, hey, you can be you can promote Booster for absolutely free, okay? But and so you there's a join now button, but don't let that join now button be, there's a lot of value in that, and don't let it intimidate you. There's no fine print. There's no, auto payments that are going to come out. But I'm saying that because, it's just an amazing opportunity where you can, let's say you have your back office in your platform, you can change the language and, or our AI. And here's the thing too, we just moved from that pre-launch to that first stage of launch. So between now and the end of the third quarter, which is when we'll be in our final version and in that, ready for mass distribution of the booster ecosystem and all the main app and all of that. So in that time, every time you log in at this point, you're going to see new things. You're going to see new languages added. You're going to see, our AI sales and support agent where, it's amazing where you can interact. And that's where businesses can have that as like their ideal employee, right? But that AI sales and support agent can speak in, I like to say nearly every language, right? But it's amazing. And so it breaks those barriers. It's breaking those, things aren't getting lost in translation anymore, right? If you use it the way that it's intended to be used. And so it's, and then, forget being a bad salesman and that doesn't, let's just say I want to talk to one of my teams in Croatia and we want to have a discussion, I could have my AI help me because it speaks Croatian. So it's just, phenomenal.
Yeah, I just wanting to get to know about everything that Booster does. So I tried out the little AI assistant and, was given it a little background and saying, what can you do? And she began to tell me everything it is that she can do, I got to the point where I was a little jealous because she knew more than I did. So very, very, they're really great. So I wanted to give you a chance to tell people how they can check Booster out, where if they want to know more about it or go in and look at the platform, how do they get to Booster?
Absolutely. So, Angela's done an amazing job with this opportunity, right? And inviting me, and I'm humbled. I'm blessed. I'm somewhat speechless. I absolutely love it. And so, as an affiliate, or don't let that word intimidate you, but as an affiliate, as a promoter, as a member, whatever word you want to put on that, you get your own replicated website. And so you can share that link. But you can also always go to boosterapp.ai, 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 and, look around, learn a little bit about myself and the other three on the corporate suite. There's a presentation you can watch. You'll see me interacting with the sales and support agent. Guys, look us up. It's easy to find us on all the social media channels. We are just now starting that presence. And so that will be growing. Once the final version of the app is released, then we'll be spending millions of dollars a month on marketing campaigns. And so that's when we'll really flood the market. You'll see us everywhere. You'll see Booster everywhere. But between now and then, right, we are leaning on, because that was our whole idea. We're leaning on, the affiliates and people that have that replicated link that they can share, and then you can, it's really fun. The Booster, what I like to call the Booster family, we've become a close knit group because they're building the bricks, they're building the house of, like I said, the first ever, the pioneers, and so, yeah, it's really amazing.
Well, I like the fact that it's all going to be on one platform and I don't have to have 40 different apps additionally, besides all the ones I already have. And I can get rid of some of them. It's all in one platform and you can see anything and everything and videos to train you, academy to teach you. If you become an affiliate, an academy to teach you how to be able to do this business. This has just been a great conversation, just to let people know, don't be scared of AI, because it really will simplify your life so that you have time to do things that you really want to do, instead of being, buried with trying to schedule appointments or make phone calls, or, remember things and go shopping and get a list together. I mean, it just does everything. So it's just an incredible tool. And I enjoyed looking through it and getting to know it. And so I really thank you for, coming here and being a part of the show today, to let people know about Booster and all about it. So I want to say to those that are listening, go check it out. It's very exciting. It's the future, it's the way. And they've even given you an opportunity, if you want, to start a home business and make some money. And I know all of us want to do that. And so we're just thank you so much, Shannon, for being here. And thank you for watching here at A Sharp Outlook. And again, we are here every Monday at 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern time. And we're here to inform you and to make your life better and help you to become the best you. So thank you for joining A Sharp Outlook. And as I always say, please stay informed. I want to thank you for joining us on A Sharp Outlook. We have been informed and energized to take the next steps. We have posted links to websites and videos to learn more on today's topic. Please join us again next week for another thought-provoking conversation right here on K4 HD Radio and Talk 4 TV. Listen to the podcast on all the podcast apps. And until next week, stay informed.